One of the things that I've done to really help me in sales, face to face, corporate, and even phone, Zoom calls, is the power of storytelling. Now, I'm not going to go through why we need to tell stories. They've been told for centuries, right? And there's a power behind it. Lowers resistance. People can put themselves in there. There's even different areas of the brain that we can activate with different storylines and story formulas. We'll talk about that later. But I'm going to go through 7 or 8 storytelling formulas. In the first, if I did not go through it, it would be like almost like blasphemy, is the hero's journey. And the hero's journey is typical Disney movie, or I'm sorry, Star Wars. If you look at Star Wars, and you look at here's the person, here's where they're at in their life, and they're going through challenges, and they go meet a mentor, and then the mentor teaches them something, and they face this big battle, and they come back and they change the world, right? Okay. So that sounds good. How do I use that in sales, Dwayne? How do I use that in sales? You can use it a couple of ways. You can help people imagine where they're at, their turmoil, their trial. Okay. Let's take I was just looking through some of my movies a while ago. I got the Rocky box set and then the Creed. But let's look at Rocky Balboa. Okay. So here's Rocky living an ordinary life. He's struggling. He wants to be a boxer. He's not making it. He meets Adrian, all that fun stuff. But then he meets Mickey. Okay. And what does Mickey do? Mickey challenges him. He calls him out. He's rough on him. He's mean, almost mean to him, right? He's a coach, a good coach, and he's boxing coach. And he goes and he fights. And every fight, Mickey's teaching him something else. And then he gets knocked down, and he loses, and Mickey's teaching him something else. And Mickey is his mentor. Okay. And he almost gets this, and like in some movies, there'll be this supernatural power that comes, whatever. But even in Rocky, it's like it gets this supernatural, almost this heart. No matter how hard you hit me, no matter how many times you hit me, my heart's not going to let me stop. I'm going to stand. I'm going to beat you. And then we move forward, right? And he endures hardships. If you go through the series, he loses his friend Creed, and he loses all of his money, and he's moved back to, I think it's Philly. I think he's moving back to Philly, and he's back on the streets, and he meets Tommy Gunn, and he's Tommy's mentor, and then that goes bad, but it's this storytelling formula, right? So it's a hero. They meet a mentor. There's usually a threshold they have to pass through, and then they find people along the way, and they endure, and they transform, right? He transforms, and he comes back after he paid the price. He did the hard work. He pays the price, and he comes back. It's also the typical rags to riches story. I remember, gosh, I'm going to date myself, but we go back even years ago. There were these income opportunity magazines. I think it was named up Income Opportunities. And it's like how to make $100,000 in the next 90 days. And all you do is send me $19.95. I'll teach you how. And of course, here I am as a teenager. I was working for minimum wage to send them $19.95, and I had it planned out what I was going to do. But every story was the rags to riches. Here I was. I did this, and look what happened. Look at Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels. He does very good with the hero's journey. He's struggling. He's trying to wrestle, and he's married, and he's broke, and he wants to sell potato guns, and he starts learning how to sell potato guns, and he tells this whole long story, right? And the story, you get in there, you listen to him, you relate with him, his struggle, his trials, his determination. And then suddenly you're like, wow, he was just one idea away. The potato gun was an entry point to prove it, but then he was one idea away with ClickFunnels. And hey, you're only one funnel away, right? So the storytelling formula, the hero's journey. So you can tell your story in sales, and people can relate with you and go, oh, I get it. Now I can do this. Or you can tell the story of someone that you met. Maybe it was your mentor, or maybe it was the story of one of your clients that went through this process, your case studies. But when you properly tell a story, resistance goes low. They hear you. They place themselves in there. And there's a skill and art to it. We'll teach that. All of our private clients, we're going to get really deep and delve into the skill set of it. But storytelling with the right tonality, right subcommunication communication moves people. What you can actually do is you can actually give them at least a temporary shift in identity through stories to take the next right step, to move with you, to do what needs to be done. Does that make sense? And from there, then throughout your process of working with them, you can further through other stories, other types. Like I said, we're going to go through 6 or 7, maybe 8. You can continue to move them into the person they need to be to fully use your product, your service, your coaching, your consulting, whatever it is, and get results from it. So the hero's journey, again, you can read books on it, you can Google it, but it's really simple. This is where they're at. Who was the mentor? What was it? What was the supernatural intervention? What was the extreme hardship? What lesson did they learn? And what price did they pay? What lesson did they learn? And how did they come back to their normal everyday life, but in a new manner? Does that make sense? All right, guys. This has been good. Give me some comments below. Hit the share button. I appreciate all of you, and thanks for following.